Hey, Magic Makers, we're doing a podcast panel, and we're about to start. So.
Hey,
This is
there we
from
go.
Conroe, and we've got Greg from the Con Hour. Amy, y'all are going to have to remind me to use it.
Oh, I'm Amy Ravi-Chandra, and I'm from the Con Hour, Author Talk, a bunch of others.
I'm CJ Peterson from the Con Hour, as well as the Journey Israel.
So welcome.
Yes,
I'm Mombierella.
welcome. Well, the do's and don'ts of podcasting.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, I'm the Con Hour, the Author Talk, Mombierella. My pronunciations have been horrible
Great
today.
name, Mombierella.
And I'm not,
And
and
CJ
CJ Peterson with,
You messed up Peterson?
I'm
Dude,
telling you,
He's
I'm
had a long day.
Come on.
But CJ Peterson with the Con Hour and the Journey Israel.
Thank you.
Did you love that?
I
Ooh, yeah.
but the do's and don'ts of podcasting.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest don'ts is having dead space. You do not want dead space at all.
Just find an 80, okay? I can
Yes.
feel no other. And it, yeah, just stories,
Yes.
honestly. But you don't want that, yeah, no, I agree.
Especially if you're sitting there listening, because if you're just listening and it's an audio one and there's dead space, they're like, hello, is this set broken?
And they're checking the radios. And
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, okay, so the way I view it, I have a ton of other ones that I'm also host and co-host on, and you're having a conversation with your audience, right? It's pretty much how you see it. And if you're, every single one of us, I know me because I'm just awkward in general, but when you have a conversation, right, it's like, yeah, see, like that was awkward. I just stopped, right? I didn't even finish talking. You're just like, I don't know if the conversation's over, if she's like having a stroke, what's going on, right? And so it's the same when you're listening to one. You want to kind of fill the space and keep it fun, lighthearted, and engaging. Unless you have like a super serious one, like everyone likes to bring up on the Con Hour episode 7 about stalking, okay? So I won't really stalk you. But on that one, it's a serious topic, right? So you have to also fill it out on what your audience wants to hear.
How limited
like
you
Amy was saying with the,
Please do.
because we're not really, our show's not really about the
Yeah.
true crimes and all that,
It's
which was the
lighthearted.
stalking.
Yeah.
But she was also a casting director, so we could pull more into that. So you actually
Yeah.
have now 2 conversations, which you really want from your guests. You want to be multiple conversations.
In my opinion. If you're going to start one, it needs to be an everyday conversation. Because that's what people want to hear. They want to hear a conversation, whether it's you showing your expertise, right, like we're doing, because we all have podcasts. We've all learned what to do and definitely what not to do, okay? Like, we've all learned that. But, I mean, it's a conversation. I mean, I claim the title on the Con Hour as the hot mess mom, and I own it, because I totally am, and that's on all my podcasts, every single one. That's the hot mess person.
Now, the one thing
But-
with us is we have longer podcasts.
Yeah.
I think ours, of course, an hour, but we did have DC Glenn who took up an hour and a
Hey,
half.
it was a good conversation. How long is yours?
Honestly, actually, mine's a little different because I focus mostly on YouTube, so I do a lot of editing. So like, I kind of bow out of something. So it's funny
You
because I
edit. You are not
Yeah,
tired.
it's like okay, that was a great moment. I feel like I got to know you guys even before I really got to meet
Yeah,
you.
so I
because,
can't be
like,
the hot
that
mess
was-
mom on your show because you cut out all my stuff.
No, because then I take like all the mistakes and I usually
Yeah.
put them together and make one big video. But, like,
Yeah.
it depends. Like if I do a live stream though, they'll be about half an hour though. I keep them fairly short,
Yeah.
honestly, on my stuff. But yeah, like that's weird because I'm always trying to figure out something with that to talk about because I don't want dead air. Even if somebody's watching it later, you know, it's like
Yeah.
if there's nobody talking to you, some people will literally just sit at their YouTube video and just stare at the camera and just be like,
Oh,
we're talking.
I'm in a stare and eye contest.
I'm like, what are you
Obviously,
turn it on?
you're
You're like, oh my gosh, what are you? I'm not watching. Stop with the eyes.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. CJ, you record yours also.
I do, and basically how it's recorded is how it goes up. So it's kind of the next best thing to live. But I've had people not show up or show up late, and I kind of cringe at that. So I do
definitely-
mine.
yeah.
I do record mine. The only reason I will edit is if there's an internet issue, and I usually tell them I will flag you, and tell you the last thing I heard was ABC. I kind of need you to count in your head, go 1, 2, and then ABC so I know where to chunk it out. Other than that, I keep the conversation flowing as the conversation comes up. I've had people crying, I've had people laughing. We've gone completely off topic so many times, but that's the conversation. When they come on, I tell them, I'm going to be your BFF for 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
And we're talking about your passion and your heart, so go for it.
I think a do for me that I've learned, I've been podcasting for almost 7 years, so between 5 and 7. Going back to the do is you want to fill out your audience market, right? So for the con hour, they want to know about cons and speakers and things like that, right? That's going to be a longer show because you can't have on like Kevin Sorbo and be like, hey, you got 30 minutes and I'm going to cut you off. You're like, what? Like, he's like, what? I'm like, the highlight. Like, you can't do that, right? But I have like author talk and like a tip show and stuff, and you got to fill out people's attention spans, which is very short. Okay, it's super short. So 30 minutes is pulling it, you know, because you gotta some guests you really gotta pull teeth to get information. It's like, man, I'd rather pull my 2-year-old's tooth this time and loose, you know.
See, they're like the experts on the podcasting. I'm actually just learning about podcasting itself because I do more YouTube. So it's like I'm more.
All right, let's break this down. Let's break this down. Okay, so podcasting nowadays is also live shows. So I don't know, you know, because there's podcasts
there's
just
like a
listen
gray area there.
It is
Yeah,
very
so it's like I view it as, no, okay, I'm 29, so I'm the young person, I guess. So I've always known podcasting as being visual. See, I told you, I'm in the shade. See, like, I love this, man, I'm telling you. So I've always seen it as visual, you know, because I like to see people's reaction, like Delilah. I've mentioned this before to you guys. If I could see that woman while she talked, oh my gosh, it would change my world. It really would. But anyways, so I got down on how to. But I've always known podcasts to be visual, YouTube, but on Facebook and stuff like that. Like we have a really big Facebook group, and the Con Hour is getting a really big, like, YouTube subscription base. Whatever. So it's, you know, that kind of audience, but I mean, you guys watch us, you guys are sitting here laughing, okay? Like, how we are right now is genuinely how we are on the show.
Honestly.
Like, there is no editing, filtering, like, this is just who I am.
Have a filter though.
I don't.
Well, one of the
That's true.
biggest things for me is volume.
Yes.
And it's very hard, like at these shows, we have to tell the people, speak up, speak up, speak up. When
Yeah,
we were
I'm
at
like out of
Comic
camera
Palooza,
going,
Yeah. But it's like, so how many of you guys are interested in doing a podcast or you actually listen to it?
I actually do one, so that's
You
why
do
that's
one?
why I'm in this room right now.
Nice! Okay, what is it called?
It's called Brewplex.
How long have you been doing it?
What, probably like, I want to say 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, I'm a professional wrestler,
Okay.
so like we actually talk about independent breweries. I work with Southern Star,
Yeah.
so we do that, and then we talk about wrestling.
So how long's your podcast?
Typically we run probably, I want to say we have about 40 to 45 minutes of content.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so do you have listeners that stay on the whole time?
Yes.
So,
So-
are you visual or just audio?
No, we're just audio. And last time I checked, we honestly, you have people that listen to us in the UK.
Yeah.
Like we just checked to see what we were getting.
I love that.
So we were like looking, and we're like,
Amazing.
it's all across the board.
Yeah.
It's
So-
awesome
It's like-
seeing all the different places
Yes.
that they're actually
Cool.
looking for.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm
our
from
biggest
Germany.
thing is we found out that we have Manila, Philippines,
Yeah.
Dublin, Ireland,
New
London,
Zealand.
England.
So yeah, we.
That's like my end goal is to move to New Zealand, man. That's,
But one of the biggest things is, it's like, we recorded at Comic Palooza,
yeah.
and the video came out great, but you can't
Audio.
hear.
Yeah.
The mic that you have, because
Right.
I've had like a blue mic, and the one that I had, I don't even remember the name, it's like the ball. It picks up all the surrounding sound, and not just mine, because I didn't have dampeners and stuff.
Right.
So
So
sometimes
we're
it's,
typing.
yeah, so, like, those are good for
ASMR.
Yes, thank you. I should totally not do that because I'm just a loud person. But yeah, it depends on your mic and like the closeness and stuff. But if you're having where it's picking up other sounds, I'm gonna say for you, it's either a damping unless you have, I don't know where you're doing it, but if you have like cushions on
Well,
the
the
wall.
other thing is,
with
the
the
mic
mic,
that I
no.
use is a toner, and it actually has the cover, so it actually covers some of that, the background noise.
Right.
It goes away, but I can actually sit back, and it's gonna pick me up just as
It's
normal.
directional.
So
yeah.
you won't have the problem of somebody, if you're with somebody, of them having to lean, because it's picking everything up
Yeah.
right there.
But you're wanting to get into video?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, it'd be entertaining.
Yeah.
Just a we all do video.
She's all video.
I'm all for video because I'm all video.
The reason being is because we thought about video is because we do have some of the guys, like I hold 2 titles. So when we talk about the titles on the air, it'd be pretty cool to actually show the titles that we've traveled and won.
Yeah.
So
Well, it also makes it where it's relatable,
Right.
Because they can see you. Like, I mean, I was talking about Delilah. I don't know if any of y'all know Delilah, but that girl can put me to sleep. But to watch her, it would be amazing for me.
right.
Right? It is it's huge content. But like, I'm sure that you've listened to other podcasts or radio shows, and they're have a piece of art, and they're having to describe the art because you can't see
Yeah.
it, and that's frustrating, right? Because you're just like, damn, like I wish I could see it. Like it sounds so beautiful, or it won an award, and I can't see it, right?
Yeah, like we
Well, the beauty though of the video is a lot of people, especially like me, I'm ADD. I'm kind of ADD and OCD, so I'm kind of an interesting mix. But ADD people, we're better when we can visually see what's going on.
right.
And I know a lot of my people, 10 out of my 11 are audio. So I tell people, I'm like, they can't see it. Inevitably, someone still goes, a dog that looks just like this. I'm like, please describe the dog. I already told you before we started not to
It's
do
hard.
that. It's a
Yeah.
bag of rice like this. How many pounds is that?
Well,
It's just it's kind of painful. But the other beauty behind it is I tell people, the other one is YouTube. So if you sit here like this, it'll get very, very boring for those people who watch. But when you have video, you tend to move around a little bit more because you don't want to be sitting sedate. And that also adds a lot of fluctuation in your voice, and it's better for listening.
Right.
yeah.
And I'll be honest, when we started doing my podcast, I started talking with my hands up. Even when
Man, I've
I'm
always
with
done
people.
that.
Don't do it.
I
It's
always do that, man.
I
Like,
never,
that's
I
entertaining.
never used to do that. It's like, I just used to be laid back. Now it's like, I'm talking with my hands because they want movement.
I think
You gotta have some
once you're
sort of
in the
movement.
video, it's like you will say like,
You rubbed up on her.
reaching out to them. You're like, okay, so listen, guys. Here's what, I don't know. I think it's just a natural progression, though. But that's got to be hard. Like the mixture, the mixture between the two, between having a listening only audience
Yeah.
and a visual audience at the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
time.
Well, the cool thing about video, right? Like we use StreamYard, and it goes onto YouTube and multiple platforms at the same time because us 3 do live shows. She edits, but
I'm doing live right now.
Bad,
But no,
bad
we do
one.
live shows, right? And so it's easier for us, but it separates the audio, so we can upload the audio and it goes to all of the podcasting stations on Anchor, which is free.
Right.
But the beauty of using that is you have all the video, and you may start off and you only have 1 or 2 people that watch. Well, keep doing it because your listeners and stuff
Right.
will want to see it, and then they're going to go to your channels and everything's going to grow.
You
'Cause
said you do
videos
live
are one
shows?
way.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, so when you say live shows, you mean just like
Live, like
Live,
live
Like
time,
get
like
people
that's recording
comes
right
in,
now, that's live.
So-
comment,
Virtually.
all kinds of stuff.
we're gonna transition into since travel we're starting to travel again
Yeah.
since everything's picking back up. We're gonna start doing our podcast from the event,
Yeah.
like in different wrestling venues,
That's
the
awesome.
ones that I'm at. But so that's when you do that because I know you guys said that you did the other Comic Palooza
Uh-huh.
for the first time, but you guys had like
See, I did it, but what I did is I like she says I cheat because I'll voice over later, and so I'll do the footage
Cheater.
and then I'll voice it over up later
Okay.
so that it explains different things
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what we were talking about. Is like when CJ goes out and does an interview, or all of us are together, we're talking to a vendor at a live event. We have to ahead of time tell them, hey, you need to yell at us.
Yeah, and like
Like-
I said, I'm usually in the background going louder, turn it up, louder.
Yeah,
And again,
but it adds to it.
our equipment is not the best in the world because I'm literally using an iPad.
okay.
Yeah.
But if
You can
eventually as
attach
we
mics.
progress, if we get a video camera that has a mic or a wireless mic, it will be a lot easier.
Being
Yeah.
able to do things mobile, like to have a good phone with a good camera and a good mic is really important. I learned that early on because, all my stuff's visual, like they're saying, because I picked YouTube as my platform pretty early on, and I've done it for a couple of years now. And I started off, and my camera was my laptop, and my lights were like these car lights that I hooked onto chairs. And I look back at it now, they say, somebody tells me, respond to your old videos. And I turned it on, I was like, oh, turn it off, turn it off. It was like the sound quality, the video quality, it was just so subpar because, I thought, well, this is a laptop, the camera will be great. No, not all cameras and mics are created equal. There is a big difference.
Yeah.
I love this phone right here. This is a Google Pixel, and the camera's great. The camera actually stabilizes, like as far as like motion goes, but it will also use the internet connection to help clarify the picture around you, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
The mic itself is way better than any of the ones on any of my computers have been, and even external mics I've had. This is better than those.
Nice.
I mean, it does pick up a lot of surround sound at times. So like Comic Palooza was a washout of
Oh,
sound mostly, you know. It's just
yeah.
like-
Well, one of the other things is with doing live, is have the green screen with our logo behind it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't wear that.
Oh no, yeah, I actually have a green screen. I do edit it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be really picky about what you wear in
You
front
do
of them.
have to
Because
be
even like
picky about what you
blues,
wear.
like certain blues.
Yeah,
Certain blues.
on things, yeah, on green
And-
screens and stuff like that, I would say. But I think another thing that live videos do, but it adds like a personal connection with your audience. And if you're at an event, like when we're here at these, one, you're bringing awareness for that event and that you're at that event, but you're also making people excited when they come to see you in person.
Right.
Because they've listened to your show. And that's not, you know, you have professional podcasters and stuff out there. They don't do that. And that's what's kind of lacking. Like, video's not going away. If anything with the pandemic, it's sped up the potential of video.
to actually do better.
Right? And
Because everybody was home, they had to go on
yeah,
something, you know?
and so it's kind of one of those things. It gives them
You don't
a glimpse of you, and your life is such a bad term for me to say because you're not doing like a reality podcast of your life, right?
Right.
But it gives a glimpse of you and what you do, and the people that you know, and the passion that you have for what you do.
It's an investment.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's an investment into yourself, the
Right.
show, because if they don't feel invested into you, then they're not going to have a connection to stick with it for some reason. You know, they might come because, oh, that person's really cool that you got, but if you don't keep them with you, you know, personally,
Yeah.
then you'll lose them after that.
You're in
one
like
guest, right?
yeah, you're like
And,
engaging
okay,
with them.
Not to be defensive, but even
It's
not
okay.
live shows.
It's okay.
I actually like if you do start a YouTube channel.
I don't encourage your feelings. I take it back. I take it back.
But no, like the personal relationship kind of thing, though, in a
Yeah.
sense, you know, it's like you have to have that with YouTube too, even if you're not doing your shows live.
Right.
Hey guys, you have to make sure to take and even when you edit it and you post it, you go on, they will comment, and sometimes you can premiere it and they'll be able to live chat with you while it's playing at that point too. And you make sure that you're there and you reply to those people and you actually don't just go, thanks for watching or something, you know, like so standard. You actually go, oh, they, you know, you get to know, you kind of get to know the people. Honestly, like I've met people all over the world through
Make it
their
personal.
YouTube channel, and it's like, I love you guys. You know?
And
It's like,
CJ.
they
Yeah,
become-
regarding the live thing, I'm kind of a hybrid. I pre-record it for The Journey is Real, but unless there's an internet issue, everything goes up the way it is. So it's like the next best thing to live.
Yeah.
But when you do it, be real. I have made mistakes. I have mispronounced my own name. I have mispronounced guest's name, and I'm just like, you know
And
what?
you yell
You're
at
gonna
me for
screw up.
mispronouncing
Hey,
his
I'm
name.
doing good to know my last name.
Me.
She has
But-
an excuse. It's her own name. Wait.
The beauty of the semi-live or live is the fact that when they meet you in person, it's kind of like that author that has this professional glamour shots type picture on the back, and they meet the author in person, and they're like, dude, that was taken 20 years.
Yeah, they're like me and a half outfit, you know? It's, yeah. You know, it's like, it's one of those things.
But
So,
when
yeah.
you're live and when, you know, you make mistakes and whatnot, and they run across you, they're like, oh my gosh, you are just like you are, so you're not fake. And so,
Well, that's why I put my bloopers on too, though, because
Yeah.
it's like people started saying, "Oh man, we love you make this mistake this one time, so you should put your bloopers." And I started putting them on,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
I'd clip them out and then put them all together in certain videos, and the reaction was really great, actually. Like people think it's
But that-
hilarious.
I honestly
I'm like,
wish
"You're
I
a
could do
goofball."
about-
I'm like, "Yes, I am." Thank you.
But people like that because they want to know that you're real.
Yeah.
When everything is just professionally put up, it's not real life.
Well,
And I
yeah.
almost wish we could do a behind the scenes of what.
Oh
we
my
do.
gosh.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
just waiting for people and say.
I don't think people
And
don't
it's
need
like,
to
pick
see
up
me
the
like
phone
that.
and it's
I mean,
like-
they gotta
and
enough
you
me
just
how I am.
casually
Okay?
call.
Y'all have no idea what goes on that 15 minutes before we hit on.
I'm doing good to be on video in the way that it's moving and the way that social media platforms are adjusting for podcasters because so many podcasts came out in the pandemic. Facebook created audio rooms and visual and just plain audio to complete Clubhouse, right? I mean, I know they've had audio rooms kind of out, but they just launched it for everybody. And so it's not going away. And everyone's jumping on the video wagon. And so the quicker that you could do that, you're going to have hiccups the whole way. I mean, dude, I've been doing this for 7 years, and there's sometimes I got people that don't show up, and I'm just like, screw it, I guess I'm gonna talk about something else. Like, I'm gonna figure out, talk about something in my life, right?
Our biggest one was Mustafa.
Yeah, when Mustafa came in like almost
It's hard.
45 minutes late.
Minutes late. But we had a
We
show.
filled it in. We had
It doesn't have to come across as if like picture perfect. Like,
Right.
hey, I'm like attending this wrestling match and it's like live on TV and that's how good it looks. They're not looking for that. They're looking for the information that you have and what you do and where you're at.
Right.
You're invested in you by the fan base that you have and the following that you're gonna create with your podcast. And they visually want to see that. Like that's the thing I've come in contact the most with is people want to see it. They can hear about it all day. You know, I got the radio, FM, AM, whatever. I can listen to it, but I want to see it on your own.
Like,
One thing with the YouTube
So-
thing, if you're really like serious about it, one of the things is like the best way to get started is to quit talking and start doing, as Disney says. You know, Walt Disney said, you know, it's like literally you can't get views on it and you can't get subscribers until you start doing it. And it sounds like you've already got a following.
Yes.
So like, I mean, I'd look into it. I'd look into it. you know?
Yeah. Your first show is your worst show. You will never do another show as bad as your first show. And you're saying you have to go into it with the mindset that, hey, all my other shows are not going to be as bad as this show right here. So you got room to grow, right? You got room to make it better, and you're going to learn a ton of stuff. I mean, but the hardest hurdle that you have to overcome is sitting down and doing it. And the best advice, right? All of my shows that I'm on, I'm either a co-host or I host them. And the best advice I can get is to get a co-host that you're friends with, that you have a good rapport,
Right.
that can help you
You guys kinda feed off each
facilitate the conversation. Because doing it by yourself is hard as hell.
That's why when I do lives, my kids usually help me. This Tokiyawa here is one of mine. I've got two kids, and like if I do something live, a lot of times it'll be something where like they're helping me kind of do the stuff or be on camera with like if there's a person that like I got to talk to them. You should get more words.
Adam Sorbo was one of my top 5. Now there are 4 other ones that I may pass out if they actually come on the show.
And we're still waiting word from them.
But to help you in the mindset of getting started, I mean, we've been doing this for so long, we all know each other, but if you take nothing away from our do's and don'ts, because we've thrown a lot at you in a funny, humorous way, but is to get rapport with someone that you trust that equally wants to do it, and it makes it easier, because you're not going live by yourself. The hardest thing I've ever done, and like I said, I've done this forever, is to go live by myself, because it is awkward. You feel like you're literally talking to yourself. I'm not even gonna lie. You're talking to yourself, and when you do it, people think you're crazy because they don't know what's going on. I like to go through the best advice I could give is get started, and I'm pretty sure it'll balloon. I mean, within 6 months to not even, probably 3 to 6 months, and eventually you're gonna have people coming to you to want to do advertisements on your show.
Right.
I mean, the thing
Keep
is,
going.
a lot of times
Always
people
keep going.
will research or try to something and never do it. I'm one of those people that just jump in, make your mistakes, screw it up, learn at the beginning, and go forward.
Yeah.
So your best teacher is going to be your last mistake.
Or your first live show.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be your best
Yeah.
teacher right there, man. I'm
But
just
the
telling you.
the key is to learn. You know, when you finish the show, take a look at it and say, what did I learn? What can I do better? Your idea is to be better than your last show. Even if it is your best show ever,
Right.
your next goal is to be better than that last show.
We kind
The
of-
beauty of being alive, especially if you get like a crew like the Con Hour, is you never know what's going to happen.
Well, you never know what's gonna come out of my mouth. Like that's everyone knows that on everything.
But I will say, we are clean.
Yes, we are.
It gets easy when you're comfortable being on camera. When you're comfortable doing that podcast live and being on camera, then you're just like, man, whatever, I don't care. I mean, there's days that I got makeup on and I feel really good, and then there's other days I feel like hammered hell and I ain't got no makeup, and I'm like, well, these people see me with nothing. Like as a girl, that matters, right? Like I have no makeup on today, and it matters. It bothers me, but I'm like, I don't know, man. My ultimate goal and all the ones that I do and being up here is I like to have fun, and for some reason people keep listening to me. I don't know why, because
you're a hot mess.
I am.
Bricks. You know what I mean?
I'm a
I'm
total
like super
introvert.
shy.
Like seriously, like I'm not like a person who.
Man, Greg,
what's that?
we're like in between introverts, man. You know, I hope you learn something.
Thanks for hanging out for a bit. We were doing the podcaster panel. Hold on, I was bringing something because So we're doing the podcaster panel here at Comic Conroe, the new Comic Con in Conroe, Texas. Thanks, Aaron, for your comments. You're awesome. Love you guys. Remember, let it go and keep moving forward. Have a magical day. Bye.